Welcome to revisionug.com. As usual, it's your teacher Hakim. This is our lesson 7 under light energy. In this lesson, we are now going to discuss what we call the simple optical instruments. Then, what is an optical instrument? An optical instrument, it is a simple instrument or a device or a tool that requires light in order to function. I come again. An optical instrument. An optical instrument is a simple instrument or a simple tool that requires light. Requires light in order to function. For example, our eyes. If we are in darkness or if light is not there, our eyes cannot function properly. Therefore, our eyes become an optical instrument. My dear learner, I'm repeating. We have said, or I'm saying, an optical instrument is a simple instrument that requires light in order to function. Then, these optical instruments are very important because they enable us to see what we cannot see with our naked eyes. Though we've said that these eyes are optical instruments, but there are some things like the microorganisms, germs, pathogens, we cannot see them with our naked eyes, so we need these other optical instruments. Alright, let us get some examples of optical instruments. Examples of the optical instruments here. So what you are seeing here is what we call a magnifying glass. This one, it is a magnifying glass, so it also uses light. Then when we come to this one is normally found in hospitals, clinics, dispensaries, schools, and this one is what we call it is called a microscope. Then what you are seeing here is what we call a lens camera. This one is what we call a lens camera. So this one is the one we use to take the snaps. Then when we come to this one, we are having the binoculars. These ones are the binoculars. Then we are having this, which is standing over here, which is called the periscope. So even this one is a periscope, binoculars. Then when we come to this one, we are having the microscope still. Then we have also the camera. Then we have the curved mirrors and the plane mirrors. Therefore, let us list our optical instruments as you've seen them over the screen. One, we have what we call a microscope used by medical workers, a microscope. Then two, we have what we call a lens camera, Then three, we have the binoculars. They also need light to function. Then we have the telescopes. We have telescopes. Then we have what we call the periscope, and we are going to discuss it in two details. Then we have the pinhole camera. Then we have also the lenses as lenses. Then again, we said we have the magnifying glass. Magnifying glass, as you've seen it. Then also we have the plane mirror. We have the plane mirrors. Also we have the curved mirrors, my dear learner. So we are having lenses, magnifying glass, plane mirrors, curved mirrors, pinhole camera, periscope, telescope, binocular, lens camera, and the microscope. So those are the simple optical instruments that we are going to discuss in this lesson and other lessons to come. Remember, we've said they are called optical instruments simply because they use light in order to function, or they need light in order to function. Now, in this lesson, we are now going to majorly start with what we call the plane mirrors. We are going to start with what we call the plane mirrors. Now, these plane mirrors, they are smooth and shiny. So they are smooth and shiny surfaces. Yes, they are very smooth and their surfaces are glittering. So they are smooth and shiny surfaces. They form images as a result of a reflection. Yes, they form images as a result of reflection. In the previous lessons, we discussed what reflection is, and we say that a reflection is the bouncing of light as it falls on a shiny surface. So as you can see, over here, this is our plane mirror, and we are having this old man here. Then the old man is seeing himself inside. Then this old man becomes the object. Then what is inside the mirror becomes what we call the image. Now this plane mirror is able to form this image inside it by a reflection of a light, and this man is seeing himself clearly because of what we call the regular reflection. So it is regular reflection simply because the mirror is smooth, or it is shiny. So this is the image, this is the object, this is the plane mirror. So we are able to see ourselves into the plane mirrors simply because these plane mirrors, as light falls onto them, then they reflect this light back into our eyes. So a light from the face falls onto this one, then it comes back. So as you can see here, then light from the head is falling onto the mirror, then on falling onto the mirror, then it is reflected back into the eye. Then from the chin here, then it is reflected back into the eye. So we are able to see ourselves inside the plane mirrors simply because they reflect light back into our eyes, and that is regular reflection there. Okay, I think now you've understood me clearly there. So after we have looked at this one, then let us now look at the common characteristics. And the common characteristics of images are formed by the plane mirrors. Of images are formed by the plane mirrors. Yes, the image, remember we said an image is formed inside the mirror, and an image is what we call the light picture. So the picture we form, or the picture formed by light. So now how are these characteristics, how are these images behave as they are within the mirror? Number one, so these images are upright. They are upright. So like when you stand in front of a plane mirror, then you are also going to see yourself when you are standing, as you are seeing this man here. So this man is in front, and now is the image is formed behind the mirror, but it is upright, not upside down. Characteristic number two, are these images, they are visual. Yes, the images are visual. So the word visual means that the images cannot be formed on the screen. And so these images are not formed on the plane mirror, but they are formed behind or inside the plane mirror. So that is what we call a visual image. Due to that regular reflection, suppose I can take my plane mirror just here, then I put here my image. Then when light falls onto this plane mirror, as you are seeing, then this light is going to bounce. Then even another ray can fall onto this mirror, then it is going to do what? To bounce off. Then here I have the observer, the eye. Then what is going to take place that is that, remember we said that light travels in a straight line. Then this person who is observing will not see that this light is bending from here then coming like this. No, this person will see as if this light, you can use a ruler, as if this light is coming from inside. Therefore, where these two rays that have been extended inside behind the mirror here, where they meet is where we are going to have our image. Now this one becomes the image, then this one becomes an object. Therefore, that's why we are saying that the image is not on the mirror here, then the image is formed inside or behind the mirror, and this image is what we call the virtual or the visual image. So the images formed by the plane mirrors are always virtual or are always visual. So a visual image is that image that cannot be cast onto the screen. Then another characteristic, so characteristic number three here, the images have the same size as the object. So the images, they have, or they are of the same size. So the images have the same size as the object. If the object is small, even the image will be small. So if the object here is big, then this is our object, then this is our image. So even the image will be big. So they have the same size. Then characteristic number four, the images, characteristic number four here, the images are formed behind the mirror. So they are formed behind the mirror. So the images are formed behind the what? The mirror. So they are not in front. And again, the images, they have the same distance they have the same distance as the object in front the mirror, as the object in front the mirror, as the object in front the mirror. I suppose this is our mirror, it is standing upright. Now this is behind the mirror, and let me draw the ground level here. Then we are having 1 centimeter, 2, 3, and 4. Then here we are also going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then if I have a person standing here, 1, 2, then 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do we mean by this characteristic here? Then the image is going to be formed behind the mirror. Then it is going to be at the same with the same distance with the object. Now if the object is at 2 centimeters, even the image will be from 1 to 2, so the image is going to be at this centimeter, the second one, so the 2 centimeter distance. Then if this one extends to a 3, even the image will extend to a 3. If now it comes back maybe to 2.5, even the image will extend to 2.5. So you can practice this one using the plane mirrors just over there. If you extend, even the image extends. If you go behind, even it for it extends behind. So the image distance is the same as the object distance, or you can say the images have the same distance as they are behind the mirror with the objects that are in front the mirror. Then another characteristic which is very crucial, this one says that the images are laterally the images are laterally inverted. I think one time you've ever stood in front a mirror with a chart has words, but once you stand there, then the words become difficult for you to read. That is what we call laterally inverted. So the word lateral means side. Lateral, this is a side, and inverted means to change upside down. So but what we call laterally inverted, so they are changed sideways. For example, if you are having our letter B like this one, now in the plane mirror this is side 1 and this is side 2. What you call lateral inversion, this part 2 will now come where 1 is, and 1 will go to where 2 was. Or it's like when you raise up the hand when you are standing in front of a mirror. If you put up the left hand, the mirror is going to produce the right side, the right hand side. If you put up the left, then the mirror is going to produce the right. If you put up the right, then the mirror is going to produce the left. So that is what we call a sideways changing, or what we call lateral inversion. Now for the purpose of an exam, they can say use the diagram below to complete or to show how the image is formed. Now this is our plane mirror. Now here we have 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. Then we can have our boy standing here. Then this is the boy. Now if you are to complete, you have to bear in mind that the image distance is equal to the object distance. Then the object is at step 2, meaning that our image will be at step 2. Then it is going to be laterally inverted. It will not face this way. No, that is wrong. Meaning that what we call lateral inversion, what we mean by lateral inversion, this is part 1 and this is part 2. Part 2 will come in front, part 1 will go behind. Now this, if you are to draw the head, then this one will come here, then the boy will stand here. So this is laterally inverted. Now we can take another scenario of letters. Of letters here, I can take the word boy. Yes, I can write the word boy. Then in a plane mirror, they will tell me in an exam, they will tell me to show the image behind the mirror. So this is the object in front, then I have to show the image. Now here they have not given us the distance, so we are not going to consider the distance. Now to show the lateral inversion of y, meaning that this behind part will start here, then this this part in front will come here, so my y will be like that, then all remains as it is. Then this back will now be here, then the front part will be now the back. So this is how the word boy will be laterally inverted. Now if we take the word ambulance, that's why we normally see ambulances having words written on them, but those words are upside down, such that once another vehicle or another vehicle comes, because it has also the reflecting mirror, then when it enters the mirror, then the word will be correctly read as the ambulance. So if we have this word ambulance, let us use capital letters, ambulance, just like this. So ambulance, we are going to start with the E. Then this one, the back, this is the back, this is the front, this is the back. Then you are starting with this one, so it is going to face there, ambulance. Then C will face there. Then N, it will have, now it will be like this. Then L will also, no, A, we have this A will remain like that. Then L will not face this way, will be laterally inverted. Then U will also be like this. Then B will be like this one. Then M will remain as it is. Then A will come like this. So this is the lateral inversion of the words within the plane and mirror. So we will say that characteristic number 1 was saying the images are upright, they're not upside down, they're upright. The images, they have the same size with the object. Then the image distance is equal to the object distance in front of the mirror. Then the images are virtual, and the images are found behind the mirror. Then lastly, we've said the images are laterally inverted, as you've seen over there. So having looked at that one, these plane mirrors as the optical instruments are very useful. Yes, they are very useful in our daily life. So let us get to know, let us get to see how useful are these plane mirrors. One, let us get to see uses of the plane mirrors here. One, they are used in periscopes, as we are going to discuss in our next lesson. Two, they are used as the dressing mirrors. So as you are dressing, you look at yourself within a mirror, so as faithful as a mirror. So you look at yourself using a mirror to see how smart you are, where to change, what to correct, and so on. Then they are used as dressing mirrors. So they are used in salons. They are also used in salons for people to see. Yes. For people to see how their hair is being styled. Their hair is being styled. They are also used by dentists. They are also used by dentists in order to see or to get quickly the diseased tooth or the sick one. Diseased tooth are there. Alright, so those are some of the uses of the plane mirrors, my dear candidate. At this juncture, let us go and get our activity. Number one says define an optical instrument. Number two, identify the optical instrument. Optical instrument used by doctors to view pathogens. Number three, state the difference between the oculist and an optician. Why is the human eye called an optical instrument. State 3 characteristics of images formed by plane mirrors. Number 6, what is an image? Number 7 says state one similarity between an image and an echo. How useful are plane mirrors to barbers? Next, how are we able to see ourselves in using plane mirrors? Okay, this one marks the end of our lesson number 7, light energy. Keep up with revisionug.com. We meet in the next lesson. That will be lesson number 8.